All right, cool. So we'll zoom in a little bit, but I think the main thing um, that we have to consider going into a day like today is we literally dropped like 700 points last night. Um, Maybe a little more, maybe about 1,000 points. So even if, and this is like the weekly chart already. So this looks like the same range as what you normally see on a weekly candle. So it's pretty disgusting, honestly. Um, it's just insane. I guess we've got a little fair value gap right here we can mark out on the daily. But I mean, this is pretty disgusting, like I said. So I am not expecting much, but we can look forward at the week. And obviously, I've had these relative equal lows marked out for a little while. So this is going to probably be the draw later on with FOMC on Wednesday. But right now, there's nothing like, I mean, we're gonna zoom in, but like, if we take a trade today, we're going for low hanging fruit, not trying to hold for anything crazy. This is just not the ideal scenario to find a good trade. So we're just gonna have to see what happens. But damn, my computer's getting loud. That's hilarious. That's what happens when you put 5 screens on your shit. But yeah, so we'll see what's up. This is the 5-minute chart. We've got about 10 minutes till open. What we can see, we go to the hourly. This is your daily FVG, but I would generally still expect us to be bearish, but when you leave those equal lows like that and have such a sharp move up, um, oftentimes it'll continue to run. So I genuinely, when I'm looking at this right now, like looking for equal highs or something like that we could look at to return and take it out. But we'll just have to see. I think, yeah, you can make an argument. This isn't a bad setup right here. 15-minute. You know, kind of take out this low. Make it straight. Yeah, so we kind of take out that low, and then you've got equal highs up here. So there's a thesis for a setup for sure. But yeah, I wouldn't jump in right now. Like, I gotta see a little more confirmation. Like, once the market opens, we'll find out if it wants to just chop, because I see that being a very real possibility too. And I mean, no, yeah, I don't know. This daily candle just looks ridiculous. If somebody knows what's going on, like, let me know. But like, this daily candle, we're just looking to see, is it gonna hold this fair value gap and move up, or is it gonna stay where it is and continue down later in the week? So I don't know. For me, this looks like a daily candle that's already complete. That's why it's so hard to read and say where are we gonna go. But we'll look at the 1-minute chart, see if we can get something. Um, and if we can't, that's okay too, you know. Might just be one of those days. After like a lot of trading, doing it for a long time, you kind of realize I don't want to give drawdown on my account to shitty price action. All right, so that closure right there is pretty bearish. You inverted this 1 minute fair value gap right over this sell side liquidity. So it wants to reach lower now. Probably take out that low. Yeah, like even with those equal highs, if you go to the 4 hour is where it really looks bearish. Like even with equal highs up here, it looks like it wants to hold this level and continue down. My thing is I just don't know how. It's just such a massive drop. It's absolutely possible it continues. I don't think I've seen anything like this in a minute at least. I saw someone say like if if you could only take longs or shorts the rest of your life, what would it be? Damn, that 1 minute looks pretty sexy. Look at that. Leave a fair value gap right over here, switching the direction. I guess if we're looking for some lows, like yeah, we could come down here. We got an IFVG. We'll wait till the market opens though. But yeah, what I was saying is somebody said like, if you can only trade longs or shorts the rest of your life, uh they would take shorts because shorts come through faster. And it's actually kind of interesting to think about because the pressure to sell, like from a emotional standpoint, is definitely a lot different than the pressure to buy. Wowzers. Market opens in 2 minutes. Off the open, I mean, not to predict anything, but just some scenario to be ready for is like, um, in this 5 minute, if we just look at the 5 minute fair value gap, if we wick through that, um, if we wick through that, it can look like an IFVG and then wick back up here and start moving up. So just don't want to be fooled. Wait for candle closures. But yeah, we're looking. If I take a trade, I want like 10 points today, unless something else becomes obvious. Not gonna try to hit a home run. Okay, market is open. So, I mean, totally possible. We're just aiming for this right here. There it goes. Damn. Okay, so what I would want to see is, now that we're probably going to create a massive fair value gap here, I want to find the entry inside of that. Jesus. Okay. I mean, yeah, we saw what could have happened, but this, there was no entry for me. Maybe somebody had an entry, but not me. Looks like it's gonna run to those equal highs already. Absolutely insane. That's so insane. Yeah, that's gonna hit. Well, I mean, if you saw the analysis and decided to take a trade based off the analysis, and you made your own call there, then congratulations. That's awesome. um, so I mean, how could we have gotten in this in hindsight? I mean, technically, it was already a setup on the 15 minute, like I was explaining. But yeah, there's no new. The news is at 10 Eastern today, so there's still 30 minutes before news. I can't believe how quickly that came through. But yeah, we still have 10 minutes until news, or sorry, 20, 30 minutes until news. So I didn't expect a candle like that off the open. TBH. All right, don't take that fair value gap. Why? Because we just took liquidity. So if anything, it's gonna start moving completely the other direction for me. Yeah, so some people would say like, oh, I'm just gonna go long on the fair value gap, or the EMA is right here, so I'm gonna go long. I never take these. I used to take these, but now I don't. As soon as we've taken out some type of key level. The stop losses right here have already been triggered. Even more than that, you've got a hourly fair value gap there. So now where would it go down? I mean, I guess to the base of this in the perfect scenario. But yeah, I don't take those longs these days. And now in the situation where you do want to take it, like there's another fair value gap way down here, so that's a better entry. But then also, I would only take it if there's another obvious level for it to go hit above. So I don't know if I have that for me. Nothing's really screaming at me up there. So it's looking I mean, it's definitely accumulating over that fair value gap, which is a bullish sign. Yeah, nothing as far as like an A plus trade. If you were if you really want to go long, I would suggest you go long from this fair value gap right here. And like to go short for it to be A plus, you want maybe you could zoom in, find something on the 15-second, but we need a bearish fair value gap for me. All right, took out those highs again. I don't look at that necessarily as bullish. You want to see it really displace over, kind of like what it's doing now. There it is. All right, so if it's gonna keep going up, this is the next spot I would look. I mean, that's like relatively significant. Right here, 21,317. I like that displacement for sure. So this would be a good fair value gap in my opinion. Right here, if you want to go long. Now, if it doesn't work, that's also a good inversion to use to go short. So you just have to decide for you how you want to play it. I know it sounds kind of dumb, like, yo, this is a 50-50 spot to enter a trade, but um, the reason why we use fair value gaps is because it's a way that you can frame your risk, right? Like if you just hop in and you chase the pump, you're not framing your risk. Like here we know if you go long, how big is your stop loss? Your stop loss is like 20 points versus, sorry, this is obviously not how high up we're aiming, but versus 50 points to the upside, right? Even if you flip this around and you take it to the lows, you have your risk framed now. All right, so this level right here where we've got kind of relative equal highs, you can also look at the hourly and see at 312 is where there's another bearish fair value gap. So interesting stuff. We'll see what happens. So right here, just a few points lower, that's where this next hourly bearish fair value gap is. And there it goes. Yeah, so we at least took out those highs with that 1 minute fair value gap. I did like the way it displaced, but now what we're seeing is if we go back to the hourly once again, there's 15 minutes until this closure. So what everybody's looking at really is, are we going to close bullish over this fair value gap, or are we going to respect it and go down? Like this right here is a really bullish sign in price the way we came up. But yeah, we got to get through right here for sure. So the best place, I mean, what this can create if we do fail this, if we're not, I'm still kind of bullish just based on that initial move. The next place you could try to go long would be right here. It's like an inversion from all the way to the left. So, I mean, nothing's A plus. So just, I wouldn't be interacting with the price right here. So the setup of the day, if you're just now starting to watch, is we had this 15-minute fair value gap. Um, Look, there it goes. Now it wants to go run up, I think. Um, but we had this 15-minute fair value gap, and we had equal highs right here. So pretty clean setup there. We just didn't know. We just didn't know. I didn't know to take it, at least. Um, Not my favorite. Okay, so zooming into these lower time frames, are we gonna, like I said, the 312 was the hourly bearish fair value gap, so looks like we touched that, but there's relative equal highs right here also, so there it goes. All right. So yeah, I uh didn't really call any official setups on this, but hopefully the analysis helped you if you were trading this. But yeah, nothing like IFVGs are a little easier, because there's no guessing. It's like, oh yeah, the bearish fair value gap was traded through, so get in. With fair value gaps, like if you're trading it the other way, you just have to take a guess and be like, yeah, I think this one's gonna work. So we're inside a 15-minute fair value gap. It's 850. If you're, this is a good place to look for an inversion if you want to go short. We got equal lows right here. But like, I mean, we literally dropped 700 points overnight, so you know, I mean, maybe it keeps going up. Yo, what's good, Vivek? Shish. Alright, let's see if this one inverts. Wonder if I can paper trade it. We'll just fuck around. Change my balance, yo. Nah, fuck it. It doesn't matter. Alright, so I'm paper trading. Don't, we're back testing. Think of it like that. Okay, if we get that closure on the 1 minute, I'm gonna hop in and try it. Alright, we'll see. There's this other bullish fair value gap. Here we go. I'm getting in. I'm getting in. Ah. Okay. And where am I looking to get out? This would be TP1. This would be TP2. Oh. Okay, look at that. I like that. See how it's coming right there, reacting. This would actually be a better entry, is entering that retest right there. But let's mark out this a little cleaner so you can see. Short position. Jeez, that's a big stop. Oh, my bad. 70 points of room down though. Don't like that. I don't love that. I mean, I'm gonna already say I don't like this, to be honest. But the reason why, like, okay, so reason why I jumped in was because we inverted this fair value gap right here. The problem was, the reason it wasn't A plus is because it respected this one right here. So technically, for this to be ideal, you want to completely get a closure below, and then you can take it. So I don't see this working, but this is obviously a paper trade, like I emphasized. So this setup in theory is already invalidated, but we're gonna let this run because it literally doesn't matter. So good lesson to learn if you're watching this to learn. See, like, how it barely respected that. I wonder if we get out at break even. Rip. All right, it's all good. Okay, I will try. I'll try not to. I'll try not to paper trade on here. Because obviously that means I have less conviction in the setup, and I know some of you guys watch this while trading, so I don't want to imply that that's a real A plus setup. Um, so yeah, I mean, like, the best thing we can have here is like a bearish fair value gap and then a retracement into that, because we are taking out a key level. But yeah, like I think the best thing we can look at is the hourly chart right here. And you can see that we've got 4 minutes left till this closure. So if obviously if we close below this high, it just confirms that bearish bias. And if we close with a strong green candle in here, not like a wick or anything like that, then if you were holding long positions to swing, then you could continue to hold. So I probably won't be trading this, just me personally, but I am watching to back test and learn. Like hopefully you guys are too. Um, for there to be a trade for me right there, I would have wanted to see like a strong bearish fair value gap. Um, it's hard for me to have conviction in longs right now. Even in just the fact that we had this move up, it's hard to have conviction for longs because we've already moved up so much, and then you zoom out and we already moved down so much. So it's like it's so 50-50, and you gotta like be honest with yourself and say, do I if I don't know what's going on, then I don't take a trade. You know, if I want to find out, if I want to like, you know, you can trade and you can take a small loss, and you can learn in that way, or you can just say, I'm not gonna trade. I'm gonna paper trade. But if we were looking for a setup, we would want something for like 10 points, nothing crazy. The setup that we can learn from all of this was literally off the open. And this is another good thing to practice too, is if you see like a picture perfect A plus setup and you miss it, you just leave the charts. Like it can't do this. It's rare that it would do something this perfect twice, you know. So we zoom out to the 5 minute. You got sell side inside of a 15-minute fair value gap. We sweep it. It wasn't perfect. I don't love those candles, but regardless, it does work. We sweep that, and then you had equal highs right here at 21,268. So if you took that, and I'll probably I make a reel. I don't know if you guys even know, because this is my YouTube and my Discord, but I have an Instagram called Trader Strizzy, and I post every day what's the A plus setup of the day with ICT concepts. So this would have been the A plus setup if you had the balls to take it. So would have been 143 points. That's nuts. Yeah, if you just took it off the open right here. And really, I would have, yeah. It's just such confusing price action. It's much easier to say in hindsight. The safer bet would be you target this 5 minute bearish fair value gap or something like that. So yeah, I'll give it another 10 minutes and then we'll probably hop off. All right, so that hourly candle just closed and it was bullish. I mean, like the best closure would be obviously to completely close through this hourly bearish fair value gap, because look how it rejects perfectly from that consequent encroachment. But for me, at least if we're only referencing this high, which is probably a better way to look at it anyway, we get pretty good displacement over that high. So, you know, you just got to consider all of it. You got this 5-minute bearish fair value gap too. This is kind of coincidental. All right, and now you've also got. I'm interested to see if we can create if we create a bearish fair value gap on a lower time frame. This is a great setup because you've got all this trend line liquidity too. So yeah, this would be a little better. Something like this. Yup, here we go. And then here on the 1 minute, if we can leave this open, Jesus, we can leave this open and then you can re-enter right there. So sorry, short position. Yeah, I would like this setup a lot actually. Yep. So that's a real setup. Let's see if we can get it. I'm gonna see if I can take this too. Ooh, there's the entry. Can I get in? Can I get in? Might be late. Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in this, huh? Alright, so alright. Cool, I got an entry, not too bad. I'm a few points late, but that's okay. Okay, so unlike that last one that was a paper trade, this is a real setup that I'm taking. So, if you want to know everything that aligned for me so far, this is a hourly bearish fair value gap right here. We create a bearish fair value gap inside of that. We don't close. We close respecting this hourly fair value gap. We get a small bearish fair value gap. We re-enter, and then we have all this trend line liquidity and basically equal lows right here. So I'm gonna let this run. I'm up 400 right now. I'm gonna move my stop over break even. I've already got enough. Reason why is because we've taken out this low now. But yeah, I think this is gonna work out. This looks pretty nice. Hell yeah, up 600 right now. See, this is how trading's meant to be, you know what I'm saying? You just wait, you chill out, and then the perfect setup shows up. I'm up 700 on this now. You said there's a 1 minute FVG at 21,260. Let me look. No, because we've wicked through it. So yeah, I see what you're talking about, but we've already wicked through it, so I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, sometimes like it'll respect those in certain conditions. Like I mean, obviously it's doing this, but you've got another bearish fair value gap anyway. And I always look at something like this, and if it was open like this, then I'm worried about it. But it's not because we wicked through it. So hopefully that makes sense. That's at least how I look at it. Because even if we enter this, like yeah, obviously I don't love what it's doing here, but we have another bearish fair value gap either way. So I always try to hold for as much as I can get, and that's just how I do things. Especially when like with the way these lows look, like it's basically equal lows, and that's always a really powerful draw on liquidity. If I can get it to, yeah, it's always a really powerful draw on liquidity when they look like that. So right now in this trade, for me, I got my entry at a few points late. If you guys should have got it a couple points before me actually, but um, my entry is from 312. Okay, here's that 1 minute fair value gap. So let's see what it wants to do here. Um, I think I'm gonna get stopped out. All right, I'm stopped out. Bummer. Yeah, you can obviously wait for the closure, but I'm stopped out. All right. Well, can't win them all. But so yeah, what I was gonna say was how many points I was up, but I probably only got like a small portion of that. I made $100 on that, and now the way it's inversing, this is like a long setup. So I'm not taking it obviously, but that just reinforces why these conditions kind of suck. I'm still interested to see what happens with these equal lows. I'm gonna take this off the chart, but wow, look at the 4 hour now. Oh man, is it gonna freaking hit? Okay, so here's the thing. I kind of like this though. It's not as A plus as this entry was the first time, but this is very intriguing to me. I'll just put it like that. I won't back test it. So like the thing about it that when I see a candle like this, for it just to completely get traded back down through, is I just think of anybody, I mean literally me, anybody who is short gets completely stopped out. It's like manipulation, and then it goes to the direction it was originally going to go to. So if we go to even a shorter time frame, like a 15-second, like it looks kind of nice. But yeah, it probably isn't going to give us any more good price action today if I had to guess. Yes, sir. Hey, peace out. Thanks for joining, man. Yeah, macro time already hit. There's really nothing to see here. Yeah, so I'm still curious if those equal lows will hit. I mean, it looks good. You're still tapping into this level that I pointed out and respecting it. You've got equal lows here now, or relative equal lows here, relative equal lows at this new day opening gap. So it's all very interesting, but it's not an A+ setup. Like the A+ setup was the first entry, and maybe, I mean, technically the lesson could be that you just need to keep your stop loss at the highs and give it more room, but obviously that's that's something you have to decide for yourself. How much are you willing to risk? Are you taking micros? um you know, can, or do you have a certain drawdown on your account, or what's the deal, you know? All right, so I'm watching for us to hit these lows. Now on ES, um, it's gonna we're mainly like the cleanest level that I see is still gonna be 937. So like right here, 1037 Eastern if you're on New York time. Let's see. I mean, it looks pretty nice. Okay, this new day opening gap could respect here, but ES still has room to that low. So if ES takes that low and you're short, you would want to get out on NQ also. All right, now if we go to the 1 minute, let's see, did ES just take that out? I think it did. So yeah, like I said, you'd want to get out. But let's say we're just tape reading. I want to see if it goes out on NQ also. Yeah, it's crazy how big that void is on ES. And it wasn't even a news candle. I'm gonna send this to my Discord. So what I was gonna point out is now look at this fair value gap right here. We could inverse it. Thing is, very important to consider what's going on ES. So I'll go over here and pull that up. So with ES, we took out that low. That's why we don't really want to. And okay, it's not a fair value gap, but still, when you take out that low, you really got to be careful because that's basically a SMT that's telling us to get out. if you were targeting those lows. So yeah, ES looks pretty bullish. All right, y'all, I'm gonna hop off. If you were watching this, I appreciate you. We'll do this again tomorrow. Actually, maybe not tomorrow because day before FOMC, it usually looks like shit. So, I'll update you guys in the Discord and we'll see what's up.